Welcome to the Lechteich Parsha podcast, where we delve into the Torah's timeless wisdom and uncover uplifting and empowering lessons tailored to the challenges of our generation.
So one of the most famous, well-known kashas on the entire Yom Tov of Sukkos, which we are currently celebrating, Smachta, Lechteich, Sukkos, Mansim is the whole mitzvah, this that we're sitting in our Sukkos, is the wrong time of year. Klal Yisroel went out of Mitzrayim in Nissan 6 months ago, the time of Pesach. So if so, Tour, very simple, logical, straightforward kasha. Why do we sit in our Sukkos now in Tishrei? So to read that inside, the Torah says in Tov Reish Chaf Hey, Nissan. So he's asking the kasha, even though we went out of Mitzrayim and Nissan, says the Torah, what's the answer? Meaning, why do we celebrate now in Tishrei? The whole world, everyone in Nissan, it's the summer, people are going out, they're going upstate, they're going to the bungalows, they want to get shade. So there'd be no kunst, there'd be nothing discerning, nothing distinguishable that the world would realize at large. Pesumi Nisa, the Klal Yisroel is going out to perform the mitzvah Sukkos of the man the V'seichem ki b'Sukkos hashafti. No one would know. So it says the Torah, and therefore, therefore, when everyone else, the whole world is going inside, now that it's actually getting colder outside, getting cooler, slowly decreasing the temperature, and it's getting cloudy and cold, and it's we're going to ask for Geshem soon. So it says the Torah, for this region, when the whole world is going inside, we go outside, so there should be a discernible element and aspect where the world should know that while we're going on inside, but the Jews, the Yidden, they're going outside, it must be there's something special, and that will increase almost like a Bechanako, the Pesumi Nisa, the Gilui of Hashem's love for us, and to take care of us, and everyone will know. Through this, through sitting in the sukkah during this time of the year, everyone will know that the mitzvah hamelech, Hashem commands us, Hashem wants us to do it, and this is the time, this is the season where we can demonstrate that, where we can show that we're going out, not because it's Yimois Hacham, where everyone's going out, but because Yimois Shamim, where everyone's going inside, we go outside to show the revelation, to show Hashem's love for us. That's the simple one pshat. There's another element. The element of Lechteich, even in the sukkah. Reb Yerucham Olshan points out in the Sefer Yachal Na'adan of beautiful, beautiful pshat and Maimer Chof Beis, and he says something incredible. He says, as we know, the entire mahos, the essence of sukkah, is l'man yedidei seichem ki b'sukkos shavti, that Hashem gave us. He provided a sukkah. There's machoikis. What does sukkahs mean? Does it mean that it was a sukkahs mamish, or does it mean that it was a nana covered? But either way, it is to remind and to relive and to be thankful and express our recognition of how Hashem took care of us in the midbar. Says Reb Yerucham Olshan, he quotes an incredible kliyakar. The kliyakar is in Parshas Hazinu, and in reference to the times of the midbar, the kliyakar writes as follows: Hashem bodod and chenu. The pasuk says that Hashem led us in the wilderness. Hashem led us in the midbar, bodod. We were in a matzav of alone, but ubatach. We were also in complete security and serenity, knowing that Hashem took care of us. So what does that mean? So the kliyakar says, mamash dvar neflaim, on this situation. Hashem bodod and chenu. What does it mean Hashem carried us and we were alone and we were in peace? Rotza loymar. Also, es Yisrael chativa achas. Through this experience, through this time, where one can have perceived, or we could have felt alone, forlorn, abandoned, says the kliyakar, Klal Yisroel was mamash, just the opposite. We felt the chativa achas, like the lulav and esrog is a bundle, it's one piece, it's one unit. We felt the highest level of unity, says the kliyakar, when we were in a matzav of bodod. We were in the closest situation possible, the closest proximity to Kadosh Baruch Hu as possible. And we became a chativa achas. Ki nagam bodod, ki meishakasav hein am levad dishkoin. Hashem made Klal Yisroel, we became a singular people, we became one with Him, and we bound only to Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that is what Klal Yisroel exhibited in the Midbar. And says the pasuk weiter, says the Kliyakar, what's the T'nai? How do we do this? The way that we become this one entity, this one chatib with the Eibishter, is B'Tnai Zeh Kishe'ini Ima Yisrael El Nechar. When we are one with only Kadosh Baruch Hu and not anyone else, that is the way that we reach. That is the way that we achieve this level of bedidus only with Kadosh Baruch Hu, when everyone else is weeded out, when everyone else is not part of the equation and it's only us and Kadosh Baruch Hu. Then we're zoiche, not to be alone, not to be lonely and sad and despondent that we're we're all with the Eibush, we're all one with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That is the level that we reached, and how we were zeicha to the Nissan, the Flam, Geluyim that were unprecedented, we've never experienced before in the Midbar, because we were all alone, because we only had Hashem to be Semechan, to be Beteichen, and that's a zeicha to these incredible Nisim, Geluyim, Be'er Miriam, Mon, Chris, all these things only came because we were alone. Says Reb Yerucham, stalling through this kliyakar, that when we go back into the Sukkos, yeah, we have the pshat of the tour, which is a beautiful answer. We want to show that there's this uniqueness, that the whole world is going in and we're going out. But says Reb Yerucham, based on this kliyakar, Klal Yisroel is not just going out to tell the world, to tell the whole Welt, that we're different, that we're doing things differently. No. The pshat is the reason why we're going to the sukkah during this time. There's another few days of Sukkos, is to remind ourselves, not for the rest of the world, but for ourselves, for our heart, for our own conscious, our own ruchnius, that we're chilek kamimau, to remind us that we're here to relive the matziv that Klal Yisroel was in the Midbar. That we were in a matziv of bodod, we were in a matziv of complete unity, of an agud achas with the Eibishter, and we fulfilled that t'nai, as the Kliyakar says, b'tnai zeh she'ein imay im Yisrael el kal nechar. There was no other elite, no other gods, no other forces, only the Eibishter was Kutcher himself. And when we were alone, when we were in quiet and peace and nothing else distracting us, and we're all able to focus on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then we were zeicha to nisim neflaim. And says Reb Yerucham, that when we go back into the sukkah, we're meant to relive and re-experience this, and not just telling the world and being different, but telling ourselves, talking to ourselves inside and saying, we were Lechteich, we were pursuing, going only after Kadosh Baruch Hu. We had over questions our speakers. How are we going to live? How are we going to sustain ourselves, our children? What's going to be? We kept getting up. It was very hard. It was very difficult. And there were so many questions, and they were exploding with what's going to be, and they were mislining it. But Klal Yisroel at large, by and large, they held strong. They were resilient. They were resolute to listen to Devar Hashem. And with that, they were zeicha to the miracles, the dvekus, the levels of kirva like never before. And that is what we're meant to do. Yes, you have the pshat of the tour, that's to tell the rest of the world, but there's also this pshat of the kliyakar. And when we go back into the Sukkos, when we're sitting with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, we're re-exhibiting, reenacting, reliving, and re-achieving and attaining those levels of bedidus of one with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. When we're sitting with Him, we're alone in the Sukkah. When the rest of the world is back in their houses, we go out and we say, Hashem, I'm just with you. I'm reliving the footsteps of my ancestors, of my forefathers, of Lechteich achar b'midbar. They chased you, they pursued you, they had their questions and sveikas, and we have the same thing, the questions, the challenges, the sveikas, the menias, the setbacks, all those things. We have it all. It's all real. But we're going to get through, we're going to overcome, just like our forefathers did then. We're going to do the same thing now, and that's what we attain and we achieve in the sukkah when we're alone. Not just the rest of the world to know, but for ourselves on the deepest level to know that we're just with the Eibishter, and that we're reliving Lechteich achar b'midbar, and we're not letting anyone else distract us, and we are achieving this level, this caveat of b'tnai zeh she'ein im Yisrael kal nechar. There's no one else, there's nothing else, it's me, the Eibishter b'til de menusa. That's the greatest thing, that's what we're achieving through this mitzvah. We're reliving Lechteich achar b'midbar, being with the Eibishter in the sukkah. And with that, may Kadosh Baruch Hu give us all the answers, all the clarity that we're looking for, that we seek, that we want to achieve through this Yom Tov. Hashem give us all the siyat d'shmaya, the clarity, the answers, the yeshuas, nechamas, and ultimately, with that, with our collective efforts of being one with the Eibishter, may come back and be one with us with the arrival of Mashiach Tzidkenu. B'mir v'menu. Amen. Chakasher v'sameach.
I thank each and every one of you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you a wonderful Shabbos.